Welcome to the 3Haunted podcast, where we bring you all things horror, supernatural, folklore, mythology, and all things that go bump in the night.
What's up, everybody? This is your co-host, Ashley Lunar Goddess, Gorilla Girl filmmaker and horror-loving cinephile. I'm just your average podcast-producing badass.
And I'm John Thomas. If it's haunted, cursed, or just plain weird, I'm into it. From paranormal encounters to horror movie deep dives, urban legends, cryptids, count me in.
I'm BJ Sewura, an aspiring paranormal musician who plays live for the dead because the living just doesn't want to hear me.
What's up, ghouls, gals, and all of our Nazombie apocalypse survivors out there? Today, we're joined once again by, you guessed it, returning special guest Nazeeh motherfucking Tarsha. Nazeeh joins us as we sink our teeth into the squishy lighter side of the undead. So grab your cricket bat, stock up on piercing candy canes, and remember, cardio is your friend. Oh yeah, and always double tap. Welcome to the show, Nazeeh.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Of course, this is also our season finale. So
Whoop.
we started it with you. We're going to wrap it up with you.
A nice little Christmas gift of sorts.
Yeah.
A very special one, indeed. And I do love that you are wearing the Christmas sweater. Very festive of you. And in the apocalypse. Now, BJ's got his camera off, and I'm wondering what the heck he's going to surprise us with.
I'm excited. It's either going to be like okay. I'm going to guess zombie Santa, but that's just my guess.
Let me guess. Is it going to be like some Shaun of the Dead character with like the red blood ink?
Oh yeah, that's a good
I don't
guess,
know. I don't know.
What do you think, John?
I don't know. I'm going to go Dead Snow themed here and say you're a Nazi zombie.
All right, we each took one movie.
We took
one of us
each
is bound to be. One of us is bound to be like close to the target.
And you're all right. So I got my Twinkie. I got my red on me. I got my beanie for dead snow, and I got my festive lights and femur.
What? I was going to say, what the hell is in your mouth?
Oh, it's a big boner.
Oh, well, like Nazeeh said, it doesn't end in the month of June.
Yo, I'm saying, he's putting the BJ in BJ.
I mean, he did literally turn on the camera with the bone in his mouth. So you set yourself up for that, BJ.
Fucking love it.
I love it. That was great.
That was great. I love the festivity. Oh my goodness. So we did Funny Zombies as the two-parter of our zombie education, if you will. I mean, there's so many more epic zombie movies out there. But in terms of just really opening up the gate to it and walking through the door just a little bit, we did the top, in my opinion, fun four. Obviously, there are more. But hey, that rhymed. But we have Shaun of the Dead, End of the Apocalypse, Dead Snow, and Zombieland. I lost my train of thought with those. I'm like, well, I'm going to pull it out, guys. I promise I'm going to get there. So which one do you want to start with? I know normally I do in chronological order, but hey, let's be wild. It's a season finale.
Let's I don't know. Let's go Dead Snow.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That works.
Sweet. It is probably one of the older ones. I don't know if it's older than Shaun of the Dead.
I think Shaun is first. I think Shaun was like 2004, and that
Dead
one was
Snow was
2008 or 9.
2009. Yep. Okay. So Dead Snow.
Wait, was Dead Snow after Zombieland?
Wait, was it? Oh my gosh.
Dead Snow was 2009. Shaun of the Dead was 2000.
Zombieland's 2009, so they were same year.
Oh, they're like right about the same. Okay.
Oh, Zombieland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Zombieland and Dead Snow. Yeah.
Two totally different films.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, Dead Snow, I added that one to the list just because I've always found it a really interesting one because it does tap dance a bit on straight zombie flick and absurd, hilarious zombie. And I feel like it's not until the halfway point that you start to get into the silly absurd. So for me, it's a fun one because it's like, what am I? Am I serious? Am I funny? And then by the end, you're like, oh my God, this shit's out of control.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's funny because like with Dead Snow, I feel like they ended up giving you just an inkling of the tone to come by starting it off with Hall of the Mountain King and having this like chase happen, or like this kind of like chase running through, and you're like, what the hell is happening? But like also, of all the song choices to pick, like that's the one that makes you all of a sudden be like, okay, this is a comedy, or you know, in the very least, it inks toward that, you know. um and like you said, it is such an interesting film. So I'm gonna go ahead and preface this by saying that I loved all the films. So if I say that anything is my least favorite, I want people to understand that is not me saying that I dislike the movie. Something's got to be the bottom of the list. But with Dead Snow, I think the the thing that I really did like about it is it was one of the times where I felt in these movies that the zombies were actually central to being like the antagonists, like being the antagonist being the focal point. Because with a lot of these films, I feel like zombies as a sort of medium or genre, however you'd like to categorize them, especially in the comedic sense, they serve as like a plot device for like it's the catalyst for a bigger thing going on. You know, when you look at the other films, just to like very briefly touch on it, you have the idea of, yes, there are zombies, but really this is about finding oneself. Yes, this is about zombies, but this is actually like a sort of like coming of age film, and you know, kind of maturing into adulthood. And you know, like I said, there are these like things. But with Dead Snow, you have the zombies actually showing up and being like, no, we are the actual focal point. We are the thing that you're going to fear. And at the end of this movie, we are what you are taking away from this, which is Nazi zombies.
Well, they even name the zombie, right? You get a name in most of these movies.
Yes.
There aren't names, or if there is someone, it's like, okay, a character you were introduced to before they were zombified. But in this instance, it's like, no, you've got these zombies already existing, and the main bad guy, the main leader of the zombies, which was Captain, or not Captain, Herzog.
Was it Herzog?
Yeah, what was his title? Is it Captain? Master? Zeitgeist. I don't know. I'm just making up shit.
Let's see.
Herzog. We'll just say Herzog.
Führer Herzog.
General Herzog. I don't know why that sounded more. I don't know. I went more British. Sonderterrend Führer Herzog.
Herzog. I'm gonna put more. Sound angrier.
All right, Herzog.
Herzog.
You know, you're right. And the thing that I loved about this is without the levity of this entire movie and the constant intestines, like just that is the thing that you see the most of, is intestines being pulled out of people and the hanging off the cliffside by an intestine. Who knew a human intestine could be that strong? But here we are. Or a zombie. Maybe it's because it was a zombie intestine. I don't know. But I do think that without the hilarious bits, these would be absolutely terrifying zombies, because they are like ninja zombies. They are stabbing people. They're using weapons. One of them has a white like camouflage thing on when he's laying in the snow and pops up to chase after the two girls when they're trying to get to the car. And it's like, what the hell? They're camouflaging themselves? That's brilliant and fucking scary. These are really intensely, they're strategizing zombies, which is terrifying, right? You see little glimpses of that in the other movies, like what happens if zombies start to be a little bit more sentient. And in Dead Snow, you got that. They are working together. They're strategizing like a military. They're stabbing and shooting and using weapons and hiding. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's really scary. If this movie weren't so hilarious, that would be really terrifying.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that really does it kind of like blurs the idea of zombie, really. Like, I don't get me wrong, they are Nazi zombies. Like, there is no taking that away. But the fact that they have that level of autonomy, that sentience that you mentioned, and also like the fact that it veers more, granted, staying to the first movie, I have not seen any of the future ones, so I don't know if this gets debunked later. But the fact that this isn't a plague, this isn't a virus, this is a sort of just cursed burial ground. They got driven out to these mountains, died here, and now they are just existing and terrorizing. And to say that it's a curse puts this sort of mystical kind of element on it that I feel, for me, starts to waver the idea, or rather, not waver the idea, but it makes you truly think about what the definition of a zombie is, which I know we touched on the last time. It's like how sentient they are they virus, like all these different types of origin stories. So the fact that we have this definitely they made them unnerving. It was scary. It's like we can't point to anyone in anything.
Yeah, definitely. And also the idea that it's just pure evil. And
Yes.
it's what the pure evil of, I imagine, maybe whatever is existing already on the land, but also all of the atrocities that they did. Because even that guy tried to explain it's not just, this is going to sound weird, it's not just typical Nazis. They went further and they went beyond, and it was just awful what they did. And so, yeah, you've got this evil that has somehow helped them exist beyond death. It exists beyond freezing, which is the assumption they froze to death. And it's like, wow, does pure evil ever die? It did feel a little bit leprechaun-y because, they're like, oh, I got to chase my gold and you got my last gold piece.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha, got you. Which is just, to me, it's so fun and a nice little callback because his girlfriend is the one that put it in his pocket. So ultimately, like, leading to his demise, one would assume, and he's the one that killed her on accident. So it's like, oh, that's a cute little circle there. But I will say, if you haven't seen any of the Dead Snow Beyond, there's only a part 2, zombie arm. Just, I gotta say, zombie arm and weird zombie sex.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you
you could have led with that. I'm watching that now.
Go for it. Like,
No,
I'm just saying, like, that movie, if you thought this one was just absurd, that one just goes completely off the rails. And it's like, we're watching, yep, still has Nazi zombies, but now we got a zombie arm. Very, like, it reminded me of what is it? Idle Hands with Devon Sawa.
Yeah, Idle Hands. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of because the character has zombie arm. So it's like that pure evil is there. But anyways, I don't want to give too much away, but zombie sex, zombie arm, give it a go.
What are you guys' thoughts?
Oh, I liked it. I think they did do a few callbacks to different movies, and one of the guys when they were walking was at the very beginning of the movie talks about it's like cabinet, like woods, going up in the woods, like movies, right? Like, where did they get killed? Oh, they mentioned Friday the 13th, Evil Dead 2, April Fool's Day, right? And so like it's nice. It's like, oh yeah, they kind of know what they are almost, right, going into it, right? But yeah, just that whole thing. It's like, okay, what are we gonna see? What are we gonna do? How are they gonna mirror any of those movies, right? And they do in a way. Like, there's the old guy that comes and it's that trope where he's like, you better get out of here, you're gonna get murdered, and that kind of thing, which is pretty fun. And I loved his whole thing. He's like, yeah, your coffee sucks. And he's just smoking. He's just, you know what I mean? Just sitting there, just taking it all in. Just like, it's weird. They're just like sitting there like, what the hell is this guy? Where did he come from? Like, and then he just leaves, right? Like that whole thing. Like, I like their, like, all of their dynamics. They ended up having fun together. The scene where they were doing the snowmobile tubing, like
That looks so
like
fun.
Yes. Yeah, I would definitely want to try
Totally
that.
crash so hard.
It'd be worth it.
Oh no, absolutely.
And it kind of reminded me of Out Cold. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It's a comedy. It's a straight up comedy. That's Casablanca basically, but a comedy and with snowboarding. But I wish it would have had a little bit more of that kind of element to it too. Um, but yeah, no, I liked it. I liked all the kills, all the different things that how they killed each. Not well tried to kill the zombies because they didn't really succeed, right? Like I don't know if they actually killed any of them because they just I don't know, right? Did they just come back? Because he was just like rise. Is that like more zombies coming back, or is it
I
the
like to
same
imagine
ones?
that's just more of the crew.
I think it was just more of the crew because they kind of rose up through the snow. So I'm assuming it was like hibernating zombies. And he's like, okay, well, you killed my main crew. Now you got to get the rest of the homies out because y'all ain't fucking around.
It was very Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and the reason I think that because they didn't really like show us a zombie like taking the arm and putting it back or doing it's like I think it's safe to say like if one gets blown up, it's probably gone.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I liked that it was in the snow, in the mountains. That was nice and different, and just the color of the blood with all of that white and everything. I liked the end where the guy's like, "Oh, they taught us how to amputate, right?" And he cuts his arm off, and then he gets bit in the leg, and I'm like, "Haha, stupid dumbass." So yeah, that was fun. And then hanging by the intestines off the cliff, that was great.
Yeah, for being like a pretty silly take on zombies, the quality of this film was pretty damn spectacular. Like you said, John, the contrast of the blood that was so bright, but not so like cheesy bright, but you see it with like just great clarity against the whiteness of the snow. That was awesome. Vergard, him covered in blood and just like going ham on these different zombies with his little machine gun. I love that. And I love the fact that right after that, they're like, where did you find a machine gun? It's just lots of things that sometimes we take for granted when we're watching zombie movies. It's like, oh, so-and-so got a hold of this obscure weapon like nearby because that totally makes sense. No, it doesn't. And so I love that they called that out in this one that like, hey, where'd you get a machine gun? And it's just, there were so many shots in this and the practical effects, the sound, the Foley with those practical effects. I'm like, man, you guys went in on some of the best parts of zombie films with gore and color use and sound and just like the ability to cause that like disease, right? But then throw in the humor with the dialogue and just the actions of the zombies and the people themselves. And it's like, man, this is just a good, fun movie. And like when they created the Molotov cocktail and he threw it and missed the window and the whole cabin's on fire. I'm like, what in the world?
It's the thing that I really do appreciate about this movie specifically is it truly is one of the comedic zombie films that show you if through just a couple of like little choices, this can be just a straight horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had mentioned earlier, Ashley, like the fact that like the only thing truly separating this from being categorized as a comedy is, a couple of the like you said, the dialogue options and the fact that they even gave some humor to the Nazi zombies, like they're just like sitting there looking up at the tree like
with the bird, that fucking bird.
It's really funny, but when you truly look at just how stunning the visual effects are, the thing that like bothered me the most in this film, funny enough, was the fish hook neck repair.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had to look away for a moment.
It was like I can see things being disemboweled and I can see all the regular gore, but it's when a person is doing something that I can actually imagine a person doing in like in the field or in a unfortunate situation. I'm like, oh no, my neck, like no. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm with you. I felt that. I had to look away for a moment because I'm like, too much. That's where you have body horror, and it's like, no, I'm good.
So good at it. They were so good at like it truly they skirted that line of, yes, we know what we are, but we're not going to make the effects look campy. They are going to look like if you were watching Dawn of the Dead, if you were watching any of these other movies, but we're going to go ahead and show you that you can still have fun in those kinds of worlds. You don't have to make the blood a funnier color or make the gore less gruesome in some capacity. They truly, I think that was just a masterclass of showing, yeah, you can truly blend the lines between what's it called, drama and comedy. One of the things I did want to mention about this movie also is the fact that the enemies were Nazis first, zombies second.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to what I was saying earlier about them being the actual central antagonists and the focal point. We had some characterization, but it was pretty superficial in my opinion in terms of the different characters, in favor of creating such a strong characterization with the Nazi zombies. And again, the fact that, I'm calling them Nazi zombies, not like the zombie Nazis.
Right.
It shows that there exists a creature, a thing even worse than zombies, and it's Nazis. Put them together, and what the fuck do we have?
No chance at survival.
Could you imagine being at that writing table? Like, guys, Nazis. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Zombies. What?
No, legitimately. Like, what's the worst thing in the world? Nazis
and zombies.
And zombies. Fuck it, let's put them together. Let's just go ahead and mash this up.
I love that they even like poked humor at that when is it Martin? He gets bitten and he's like, I can't be one of them. I can't become one of them. I can't. And he's like, don't worry, you're half Jewish. They don't want you.
It was so funny. I love that so much. And again, it goes with the idea of the curse versus plague versus virus, right? Where, hey, brother, you ain't gonna become one of them.
Don't worry, we're not gonna let that spread to you.
well, that, and there was a really funny thing that you've never seen, really, I've never seen, where a guy actually bites the zombie before the zombie bites him.
He bit him first. I thought that was great.
That was hilarious.
Right?
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my God, he actually took a bite out of the zombie.
The
like,
zombie's
awesome.
reaction was hilarious. Like, what? He bit me.
He bit me.
What was your favorite scene in this whole movie?
Oh, man, my favorite scene in this whole movie.
I mean, I could tell you mine. It was definitely when they got the tools out and went to town on all the zombies. Right? They were like, we're taking a stand. We're going to use the chainsaw. We're going to use all of the things, and then it doesn't. I mean, it works, but then they all come out of the woodwork and
Horizon.
yeah. The other one is the shitter. She didn't, Chris. She didn't. No, she didn't follow the rules about bathrooms. And that's what I think a lot of it's great about Zombieland, which we'll get to later. But I've noticed that in all these other zombie movies, it's like they're not following the rules, and
They don't follow the rules.
But that was pretty gruesome too, getting pulled through the shitter.
Ugh, like talk about insult to injury.
Yeah. What's your favorite scene?
Mine's like a totally obscure, not obscure, but in the grand scheme of the whole movie, I actually just loved visually. So it became my favorite scene was the zombie attack. The first one let me walk that back. The first one we can really see because the beginning one with Sarah, it's really dark and like just so much is happening that you don't really get to see what's happening. But with the hiker, when he's in the mountains, I absolutely loved how they lit the orange tent. So you've got like the very, very, very dark mountain sky in, Norway in the winter. You've got the bright white snow, and then you've got his bright orange tent lit from the inside. So when the zombie just like darts in, you see it really quickly, like an animal, but you're not seeing what it is quite yet. But then you see the attack. And he's stabbing him and he's eating him and you're thinking, oh, we're not going to get to see it. But then you see like what happened to him and it's like, oh. And honestly, that's what I loved about this entire movie is to what you said earlier. Because they have humor, I think they actually leaned much harder into the gore than a zombie movie typically would. We saw, I forget his name, the fellow that had sex in the bathroom. We saw his head get squished pulled apart. They grabbed his head, and who knew you could pull a human scalp in half like that, and just like their whole head just bursts into two. And then, like, love the scene as well, the shot when all the zombies collectively grab, I'm forgetting names because I'm not very good at pronouncing Norwegian names, when all the zombies grab Vergard and they each grab a piece of him and just yank him apart, so he's like human quartered by zombies. But that, I don't know if you noticed, which makes it very humorous actually, is they pause for just a moment in that formation around him before they pull, and then they yank, and it's there he goes. And I'm like, this is just, I shouldn't be laughing so much and enjoying this so much, like this gore, especially by zombies, considering it's me. But it's fun. The way they do it is fun. What about you, John? What was your favorite scene?
I already said mine. That was the whole amputation thing and then getting bit in the leg. I mean, that's yeah.
After he cut his soul.
Yeah. I was just like, and then, yeah, you did it for nothing.
It kind of almost looked like he bit him in the dick. And I'm like,
I thought so too at first. And then when they showed up, I'm like, okay.
I also thought he got bit in the dick. So sometimes I'll either write notes when I have like a reaction, or on my like second watch I'll be like, okay, no, and I was just like, fucking ouch. That was what I wrote there.
It I think it would have been even more comedic if he did, because it's like, you're gonna cut that off.
That's why I thought it did, because of that exact thing. I was just like, I was ready to see him just like struggle, be like, fuck, like just.
I'd rather be a zombie.
Yeah, I think that entire just last sequence also happened to be the most memorable / my favorite as well, primarily because the snow and the daylight allowed such a beautiful contrast between all of the blood that it made the shots at the end that much more contrasting, and it looked really, really pretty. I know it was gory, but when you saw oh my god, I'm also names, one sec, you know Roy and Martin, when they were the final two guys just kind of like there after like the cauterization and everything, and they had like that moment of just stillness, and you just see the blood, the sort of confused, funny faces. Yeah, I that last image, I did truly, truly like.
And they mention zombies. They actually say the word zombies in this one.
Oh my god, they say them in a lot of these movies, and I love that.
Yeah.
we don't have to call them something else in parody,
right? It's like, these are zombies. Well, even the one guy, I suck at names, man. I'm gonna get it right, but I won't. But I will.
Erland, maybe.
Yeah, it probably is Erland. Even Erland was like, at some point, I think in the first, when he died, wasn't he wearing a t-shirt that was like a zombie-esque shirt? It says something like "The Dead."
I think so. I think so. Not sure if it was like a band or something, but
I feel like Dead Snow is just a good, fun one. It has all the wonderful, terrifying things in zombie movies that you enjoy to watch in the serious ones, but added so much humor and fun that you can actually enjoy it without having terrifying nightmares.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing with this one is you don't get attached too much to the characters as much as you do in the other movies we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. Because Ashley was tearing up at one of them that she mentioned earlier, and we'll talk about it soon. But yeah, this one, it's not like a tearjerker movie at all. Like, it's very much, you're like, yeah, I got to know them for a second, but they're not really, they don't have a lot of depth. And so it's okay.
There's a different kind of tears just because you're laughing so hard. That's about it.
Well, and the zombies, as much as they look alike, they're still very different. You have the one that's in the white camouflage, whatever that was, outfit, snowsuit. But then and then it makes you wonder, like, where the hell did he get that? And then you have like Herzog himself. His look is very iconic. Like, you'll remember his face. And so it's just like, that's a fucking Nazi zombie captain general, dude. If I've ever seen one, that's
Colonel.
him.
It's Colonel.
Colonel Herzog. Like,
Colonel Herzog.
That's a Nazi zombie leader. Like, the whoever did the makeup for him, that was just spot on. If you told me 3 words, Nazi zombie leader, I'd see that guy. His stance was still very like leader-like too, colonel-like. So even as a zombie, you keep certain things apparently. All right. So then let's go to our next film. Let's go to Shaun of the Dead. Released that same year.
True.
Very different. Also an international film because Dead Snow was made in Norway and is a Norwegian film. And then we have Shaun of the Dead, which is British.
Yeah. So, Shaun of the Dead. So, I actually did watch this when it first came out. I was a small child. And I was not the biggest fan because I was not in tune to the sort of British dry kind of humor. Things are very, very kind of quiet. You let things play out deadpan and the comedy will come through that. But I'm no longer a child.
No.
At least not at heart. I'm a man. I'm an adult. No.
You are.
Shaun of the Dead is so good. I absolutely love this one. It's a classic for a reason. It's parodied in so many different just pop culture related things. And yeah, I loved the fact that here we have a story where, yes, there are zombies occurring, but we're kind of just like negligent to them until it kind of matters by the end. But this is more a story of being an adult, maturing, and getting that transition between childhood and gaining responsibility through man children. and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, absolute phenomenal duo. I mean, I know they had the Cornetto trilogy and have worked with each other for God knows how many years. Their chemistry is super, super fun. There isn't a single moment where I don't believe that these two aren't actually best friends, because I think they actually are. So it all shows through. And yeah, no, I Shaun of the Dead is just, it's one of those that I think it was just the right amount of delving into characters and then switching into having these zombies come into play. And I love that this movie was a commentary on kind of just consumerism and society as a whole. The reason the zombies are indistinguishable for the longest point in this movie is because we, as drones of society, as depicted by the movie, are very zombie-like in our just day-to-day interactions. You have the wake up moaning in the beginning. You have the people just breathing very heavily, coming up slowly behind you, slogging through, people on their way to work on the bus. And it is that criticism where we are all zombies in this consumerist society, and this is what it is. And so having the zombies be an analogy for that, I think, is very, very clever, and is something that they absolutely nailed in portraying.
I think for me, this is maybe my favorite zombie movie of all zombie movies. It's up there. I mean, Ashley and John both know I made a zombie short film that's kind of ridiculous. It's a combination of kind of Shaun of the Dead and Anna and the Apocalypse, which I made before Anna and the Apocalypse came out.
Oh, shit.
But did come out, I was like, oh my god, they did it. They did it well, obviously, but like the idea was there. But oh, I love they have all these moments, right, where they do callbacks as well in this because it's a satire of zombie films, but it became its own like successful thing, kind of like almost like a parody of sorts. And I loved when they referenced. Do you guys remember the part where they referenced Night of the Living Dead? So it was Ed when they're on the phone with his mom, with Simon Pegg's mom. He's like, "We're coming to get you, Barbara." Just
Yeah.
that right. It's just
Yep.
like the little things like that that you don't really catch unless unless you're a big horror fan or somebody who's watched those movies, right? And just all these little things that they did. Um, I don't know. I just love it so much. I could talk forever about it, but just all the like the smash cuts where it was just got quick things to show you like transitions of whatever's going on, right? And then my favorite maybe scene is the two times that Sean goes to the store to get to get a paper, right? The first time it's boring, the second time it's also boring, but he doesn't realize that the world's over, right? Like, oh, I think just the obliviousness of it all is, I think, what makes it so much fun. And they're not ready for it, but they find a way, and I think that's what's great about it, right? And they do it together. I mean, obviously, it's not a happy ending ish, but
I mean, Ed was Ed by the end, and that's the hilarious part is Ed as a zombie is still very Ed-like as any
Yeah.
other state of Ed. So it was like, like Graham actually watched most of Shaun of the Dead with me, and at the end when Ed was on the in the shed playing the game, Graham's like, so he's just himself, and I'm like, pretty much, bud, pretty much.
I love it. That's great.
So, yeah. What I do love, if you guys have never seen Spaced, it's a TV show that features Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and it also has Yvonne, Jessica Stevenson. She's one of the main cast members of Space. So she's the one at the end who
Yeah.
comes with the military and is like, hey, we came to get you
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
But those three are actually in Space, which is a TV series that preceded this, that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are in. And what I love is that this movie was actually conceived in that TV series. They had an episode where Simon plays Resident Evil, passes out, and has a dream that their entire world is taken over by zombies. And that episode is his dream of the zombie invasion. So they had so much fun with that, and they love George Romero's, Night of the Living Dead movies, that they're like, hey, we should make an actual movie of zombies. And I think that's great. Like, it was born in another creative concept of theirs and then expanded into this, which, Ed's a doofus. And I will say, when I first watched Shaun of the Dead when it came out, I enjoyed the movie. Rewatching it many, many moons later, I really don't like the character of Ed.
I agree.
As an adult, he was really agitating me. I'm like, dude, can someone just take him out already?
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
I felt more on wavelength with Peter.
with Pete,
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, tell him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I feel like there are so many of us who have had that friend that we've either had to distance, put at shoulder length or arm length rather, or just kind of cut out entirely because they're stuck in high school, and unfortunately, this is the real world. You got to grow up, and that's not to say that you've got to lose your childlike sense of humor or whimsy, but there is a level of being held back by the friend who is preventing you from, kind of nurturing and growing. I mean, like, Sean, he is struggling with his relationship. He is kind of just aloof, and it is all due to the enabling of this friend of Ed, so him coming to that sort of like crossroads in the beginning of, or not in the beginning, sorry, but in the middle, where he does acknowledge like, I need to change my life around, I need to do things, and starts to kind of care about putting his foot forward. Yeah, Ed sucks. I knew an Ed, I had an Ed, I cut the Ed, because at the end of the day, you've gotta live your life, and you I do firmly believe in that phrase, you are the company that you keep. And that is company that I do not wish to keep. That is not a reflection of me. And as a result, it's like, I agree. Ed is so insufferable.
Well, and it really does highlight, it highlights very well that there are different kinds of zombies, because Ed's a zombie of the person who's stuck in the past, so doesn't move forward and pulls everybody else around him into that paralysis of complacency. But then you have the other end of that. You have Sean, who's stuck in a different way. He's stuck in just like the being the widget, right, in the overall factory of making things happen. And we see that at the end when they show the zombies being chained and doing manual labor and things that, like being a grocery store clerk and stuff. And it's like, that's insulting, by the way, to people that actually are in the service industry. But to me, that's very Night of the Living Dead, because Night of the Living Dead really was a commentary on how the government viewed the masses. We're all dumb and we're just kind of doing what we do at this very low level state. And so for me, them using the zombies that they caught to take these service level jobs, I'm like, well, surface level, that's an insult. But if you take it a step further, that's the government, the news is giving this report. So it's once again the view that the common person is dumb, and they just kind of are. They even used a phrase like their goal is just to please and not like service. And so it's like, what? That's so rude, but also very throwback to Night of the Living Dead. So
I don't know. I like Ed. I hate David.
are you Ed?
Ed, kind of. I'm glad David got his got what came to him, because it was, I don't know. I just hated his character, right?
Yeah.
Like he was just very annoying. He was very like he was gonna shoot at Sean in the face, and then
he actually shot it, just didn't go off. I was like, that son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's very much that, like he's like that playing on the sides type guy. It's like, I'm just gonna be here to talk shit because I want Sean's girlfriend or whatever.
Even though he's got his own girlfriend who's Liz's best friend, which to me was so sad. And then when he gets pulled through the window, she's the one to go after him to save him. It's like, oh, that's heartbreaking. He's a dick.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm glad he got eaten alive.
Yeah, same. He deserved it.
Philip, I love that actor. I don't even know how to say his name. Bill Nye. Or whatever. Yeah, that guy is amazing. So cool. Like during that time too, because he was in
everything.
Love Actually.
Yeah, like that. He was so good in all of those, and then to see him in this, I wanted more. I wish he would have survived longer, and there would have been more to his character, because he's just any scene that he's in, you got to watch him. You're like, oh man, like what's gonna happen now?
I'm going to be honest, in terms of the entire movie and heart-to-heart scenes, Sean having to kill his mom, that was sad, but that didn't really hit the heartstrings as much as, for me, when Philip is talking to him in the car. And he explains to him why he was so hard to him on his own, unprovoked, apologizes to him, and even proceeds to tell him, I love you. And for me, I'm just like, oh God.
Exactly.
That scene got me more than Sean's mom or anything else. I'm like, that is, and the sincerity, right? Like Bill had just a small moment to deliver that scene, partially sick and dying. And the emotion that he was still able to convey through that, kudos to the man.
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing about that scene specifically, where, for anybody who is battling, any sort of generational trauma in some capacity, whether it be, a parent, step parent, grandparent, whoever it may be, role model or guardian, that, they're depicted as, oh fuck, I hate this person so much throughout the entire thing, and you're just kind of given all of the information to hate this person, because we're following the eyes of the protagonist, of course. But then in this moment where suddenly they're humanified, um as they're turning into zombies, they're the most human that they are just before. It's that need for resolution, closure, for acceptance. And we, like, yeah, that was a really, really good scene. And it's, again, it is absolutely crazy that you can have these sort of heart to heart, gut wrenching moments in something that is as comedic and absurd as this. It shows us that you don't have to be one note when creating your piece of media. You can have these beautiful nuggets inserted and it just absolutely shock everyone, and then go back to the thing.
Which they did. They immediately went, when he pulls over the car, they go back to it, because he's like, it's not your husband in there anymore. There's no part of him left. And then zombie Philip proceeds to stop the music from playing. I'm like, huh. And he's like, we gotta go. good palate reset after that heart-to-heart scene.
Yeah, no. we gotta go back into the crazy absurd.
Which, by the way, that heart-to-heart scene is taking place in a car stuffed with like 6 people and just like careening around corners and high speeds and loud music, and it's like that still is able to be delivered and impactful. Like, come on, this film is just so well done. And as much as I veer away from the zombie genre, these films, to me, they go beyond the zombie genre. And like you said, they do what people forget can be done. They take elements of things like extreme horror, but they bring in heart to heart, and they bring in comedy, and they bring in all of these other pieces in a way that just, it's artwork. And so, yeah, I appreciate these films. Some people may see them as just like, that's just a funny, silly movie. And it's like, no, what these films are able to, what they're able to conceive and execute is just not easy.
Well, and the successful films come after that will copy them because they were so successful, right? Like, acting like zombies to get away, right? We've seen that in a couple other movies too, but yeah, it's great. It's innovative in a lot of those kind of ways. And it's just fun. It's fun because you're like, it's like things that you would think of that's like, should they try that? Like, I guess, I don't know.
Why was Simon Pegg so good at it though? Like, he's got like knock-kneed arms and like jaw slack, looking up at the sky, gurgling. I'm like, he'd make a really good zombie.
And Ed's like, that was pretty good.
No, I especially love the fact that Ed is just like, well, let's see yours, and then the fact that he was like, okay, yeah, no, that was pretty good. like acknowledged in the thing too. Yeah. It's really funny.
It was super good. Oh, that was too fun. And the fact that they still end up at the Winchester.
Yeah.
She's like, where are we going? The Winchester? Oh, damn it. Kick him in the balls for that. Just kick him. Can we also appreciate the humor? Because we never see this in anything else, whether it be The Walking Dead or any zombie where you're seeing mass zombie herds. The naked zombie. Like, you have to imagine there were people that did get bitten while they were in the shower getting ready, or at the gym in the shower, right? And yet we don't see that because obviously ratings. But here we have, Peter. We have him naked in the shower, and Simon's like, oh, I'm sorry, and closes the curtains. But then later you have a callback when he walks into the bar just still naked as a jaybird. And you never see it. They always have an artful way
Yeah.
of keeping him covered, but it's just hilarious because he is just straight naked roaming around.
Yeah, because he's not gonna put a shirt on. Like,
But it does make you wonder. We've never seen naked zombies in any of these other shows, but it makes sense. There would be some.
yeah. I guess in Return of the Living Dead, Trash, the character of Trash was naked running around because she got eaten when she was naked, and then she
That's
just
true.
ran around biting people. But
All right, you
not
right.
a lot. Not a lot. Not a lot though.
Not often.
Not dudes either.
Well, they didn't show his Twinkies. Now, speaking of his Twinkie, Zombieland. How's that for a segue? Hey.
That was good.
Zombieland, amazing cast. Do you guys remember when this came out? Did any of you watch it when it came out? In
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
I did know.
Again, not a big zombie person, but when this came out, I saw Woody Harrelson, and I'm like, Woody Harrelson is in a zombie film? I absolutely have to go see this.
He absolutely, for me, stole that movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's absolutely, like, he was given granted, he was given like an edge by having such an absurd character whose arc is that he's after a fucking Twinkie. But the fact that he has this sort of machismo and he is like this just like heavy hitting man and is portrayed as this badass who gets things done, and then the soft spots, the fact that the Twinkie, the fact that, you know, Bill Murray excites him, all the little tiny things that were laced in there to like break down this trope of man who is just like solely gung-ho, my way or the highway. It's like, no, there is a puppy beneath that hard shell exterior, and he played that so fucking. They all played their roles phenomenally.
And Jesse Eisenberg, just to add to that, when he first gets in the car with him, he's mentioning, he's like, "Oh, you almost knocked over your alcohol with your knife." As he's driving.
Yeah, I love his quest. Like, that is his main quest, to get the Twinkie, right? To find the Twinkie. Because for me, I feel like if a zombie apocalypse or anything apocalyptic occurred and we suddenly didn't have those little things, right? Those little things that make us happy, then yeah, I feel like it would be the one thing you hold on to, that one thing of normalcy, the one thing that it's like, that reminds me of a time where I was happy. So simple and yet so big. For him, it was a Twinkie, and that was hilarious. But like, for you guys, what would it be? What would your quest be for something, if an apocalypse occurred, that it's like, this reminds me of how life used to be?
Oh man. I feel like in terms of like shelf life, I can find it on a shelf. I don't need to worry, because like I feel like the basic answer for me would be like a Taco Bell, like taco or like quesadilla or something.
Those never expire. Don't worry.
But you know, considering like, okay, if I got to go to a store and find something that reminds me, that will take me back, I think beverage wise it would be a Red Bull. Like that's just like my overall consumption. And then for food, oh man, I literally had it and then I lost it. Somebody else answer while I brainstorm what it was.
I have two for food, and it's all sweets. Hostess, right? Because thinking about the Twinkies, so the apple pies. So I used to eat those Hostess apple pies. They're terrible for you, and they have so much sugar in them. But when I was a kid, I loved those things, and they'll last for a while. So, and also Rice Krispie treats.
Okay.
I thought about my childhood bullshit.
My childhood bullshit.
The can of Chef Boyardee's.
Oh,
and my mini raviolis. Those motherfuckers. Those would be the ones that I probably would like look for.
He would cry. Ravioli and some Red Bull.
Look. Honestly, that sounds like a good dinner for tonight too. Shit.
See, you found your Tallahassee.
There we go.
What about you, John?
I don't know. Back then, when the movie came out, I identified really, a lot with the Twinkies because I was a big Twinkie person. So that would have been it. But probably drink wise, it'd be like the High C Ecto Cooler from the 80s, 90s. Yep, that shit was so good. Of course, you can't find it now, so it doesn't really matter. But that would have been one of them for sure. And going with the Chef Boyardee stuff, SpaghettiOs. I used to eat that shit right out of the can.
Yep.
Didn't even have to cook it.
Yep.
Yep.
100%. What about you, Ashley?
Man. Assuming stuff is hard to find, right? Because everything's been ransacked. For me, I would kill for a Kit Kat. Like that would be just, a Kit Kat. And then if we're going drinks, you're running, you're tired, you're on the go all the time. Like a super cold Capri Sun.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
That would be my drink and food quest.
Which kind?
Yeah.
Tropical.
I like the kiwi strawberry.
All classics. You can't go wrong.
No.
Any of
I
them.
wouldn't judge for any of these answers.
Yeah, if you gave me a kiwi strawberry, I'm not going to throw it out. Like, I would drink it too.
If it's cold, fuck yeah.
Exactly. I will fuck it up. So, especially if you just got done outrunning zombies, hell yeah.
Or what was that movie? The new Quiet Place movie.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were talking about pizza
with
the
the
whole
pizza?
time from that restaurant, right? Like it's
Yes.
another thing like that. And for me, it would like a hot food would be like a pizza, like a frozen pizza, old Totino's pizza from the back in the day,
Right? When they were actually good and now they taste weird, but whatever.
Can zombies smell? Like, if you cook that stuff, would they be able to smell it? Or like, if it's not brains, it's just not even on their radar.
Would they not even care? Like, even if they did smell it, like, would they give a shit? Like, who knows?
Yeah, like, is it going to draw zombies in if I have like a pizza party, or are we good? Because as long as I'm quiet, it doesn't matter.
I choose to believe I'm gonna treat them like animals in the sense that, like, yeah, you can feed your dog, just fucking dog cereal, and they're gonna be ecstatic about it no matter what. But they get like your leftover za or any of your like dinner, like they're like, yo, you got the good shit. What the hell? So I like to think a zombie doesn't care, like food is food, but they're like, hold the phone for those who have their noses still, because obviously some of them.
Oh god.
Well, they had the fat zombies in the store, right? Because that was the whole thing, right? They're like, oh, these guys let themselves go. Was it because they were stuck in the grocery store and eating all the food?
I choose to believe that was just a commentary on the obesity in America, and not necessarily like the zombies became fat. That was my, like, I thought it was just like supposed to be like a ha joke, less an actual like observation of like, man, these zombies they're just fucking eating right now.
Because can zombies get fat? I mean,
Yeah,
they're
my question.
decomposing. So it's just like, I assume whatever they're eating brains and blood and mush for is to slow down the decomposition because they're losing it all. I don't know. Why do zombies eat brains and intestines? What is it about that? They're not vampires.
Well, in Return of the Living Dead, one of the zombies says we eat the brains to help keep the pain away. So it helps them not feel so much pain, which it numbs it, which is very, very like, ooh.
Which is why you got the like super punk zombies piercing themselves everywhere. But because they were leaning into the ache of the pain, I guess. I don't know. But in terms of the other zombie movies, we never get the why they eat people. We understand that they're acting outside of human nature, and we oftentimes get the why they are zombies. We don't typically, nobody is explaining what it is about the brains or the organs or the whatever that they're going after. You don't ever see them eating dogs. Thank goodness. Like, it's people on people.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, in the instances where the zombies are consuming, my guess would be that, again, this is all just, technobabble, medical mumbo jumbo bullshit. But I would presume they they would make it to where, because the living have the exact same genetic composition or something, that they want to turn the others and make a mass thing. And then, this ends up posing the next question of, okay, cool, everyone in the world becomes zombies, they have nothing left to eat. Do they all just decompose? Or do they genetically transform, and now do they start eating animals? Do they eat vegetation, etc.? So I don't know, but I could see some sort of oh yeah, they want to transform like bodies, like organisms into themselves.
Just spread the parasite, spread the infection.
Yeah.
Well, and this one started with the mad cow disease. That's how it went. So does that have anything to do with it? The type of zombie that you are, right? Is it because of a disease? Is it a type of thing where you have rabies? Is it that kind of thing? Like, it doesn't matter, right? So it depends on what kind of zombie you are. Are you one with a pathogen? What do you have? Are you dead? Are you,
Yeah, I think too, it probably also depends what the zombie itself is symbolic of. So when we're talking about films like Dawn of the Dead, where it's like clearly going against consumerism, then you have these mindless people just mindlessly consuming, and destroying humanity. Okay, that makes sense. It's pretty on the nose. But I do wonder with some of these what the driving factor is, or if that even matters to the story, like the why they eat people, and it's more so the worlds within the existing, like point in case Zombieland. It's more about the rules and people's disassociation from one another, right? You can't even know people's names, which is speaking to modern society, right? Where you really don't get to know people past the surface level. So in Zombieland, it's like, yeah, you don't even get to know my name. You just get to know where I'm generally from. So you have Tallahassee, Little Rock, Wichita, Columbus, and that's
Bill
pretty
Murray,
obvious.
but Bill Murray is Bill Murray.
Yeah, but the fact that in this one, zombies can't sniff each other out, right? And so the fact he can just make up himself and walking around pretending to be a zombie.
Yeah, I love the play on that with each of these movies. How can you subvert a zombie? Do they actually know? Can they sniff you out, or is it just fuck it? Because obviously, in so many of these things, you have the one that comes to my head is like Walking Dead, right? Where it's like, hey, take the remains, smear them all over you, and they can't tell. But then
all they smell is the rot.
Right, but then you have instances of Shaun of the Dead, right, where it's just like, hey, just moan, man, moan and
and shuffle
walk, yeah, moan and just shuffle, and you'll be fine if you don't make a noise. No, I did want to mention about this movie because talking about the sort of main theme of each of these, how we have these, in the first movie with Dead Snow, it was the central antagonist truly was the zombie, and it was more a commentary on sort of history and kind of atrocities and a standard parody of the genre. But in Shaun of the Dead, we have, like I had mentioned, the maturation and growing and kind of going from one point in one's life to the next, and gaining responsibility. And then for this one, for Zombieland, it was for me the kind of finding of oneself and self-discovery in a world where individualism isn't fostered. We have this every man for himself, survival of the fittest, trust nobody, which is a sort of core theme in a lot of zombie media. But it was essentially, to your point, Ashley, when you mentioned, nobody is allowed to know who you are, your names, etc., or at least for most of the film. And with Zombieland, the central theme being this sort of the finding of oneself in this sort of post-apocalyptic world and sticking to your rules and your guns, and this sort of lack of individualism. Versus, as the story goes on, suddenly we have Columbus learning that things aren't black and white. Things aren't rigid. You can trust people. You can learn to create a found family, which is another central core of this, which is, existing family and friends may be non-existent, but what do you do in this new world in order to thrive, in order to continue going on? And that is to find your tribe, to try and create this sort of found family. And, whether it's just live out your days or rebuild civilization, I'll leave that to property. But yeah, I did like this journey that Columbus went through of, he's just this very, very timid and rigid, these are the rules, you have to follow the rules. And then suddenly, as he befriends everybody and they become closer and become like this tight-knit group, he even says, time to maybe we can edit this rule a little bit and we can make new rules, and not like it's not a black and white thing. And that's what I loved about with Zombieland. You have these characterizations that allow you to truly get attached to them and see their growth from beginning to end.
Yeah, you definitely get a big character arc with him. And to your point, I mean, the whole thread throughout the film are his rules, Columbus's rules of surviving a zombie apocalypse. And that was fun because they used that later when they were advertising the movie, and they were doing like promo videos with Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg about the different rules. And I love that part of his journey is realizing that rules are meant to sometimes be broken. So it went from don't be a hero to be a hero when he faced off against the clown zombie. And I don't know, I think it's great that he had his list that I feel made it more relatable, because I feel like any of us who've watched zombie films or any kind of horror film, we're like, these are the rules of how you don't die. And he had the whole list he would go through, breaking that fourth wall, right, to deliver those rules. So I thought that was really fun and a good way to lighten up certain scenes that were pretty dark. Like, the thing is, this is a funny movie, but there were still some pretty intense scenes with the zombies. So
Yeah. I love one of the scenes that brings up that lightens the mood is, when they're breaking shit, right? Like, it's like sometimes you got to let off some steam, right? Even just the van, right? Like, you just got to, or when they find the Hummer with all the guns and stuff, he's like, thank God for rednecks. And he's just having fun shooting the gun, right? Like, he's wasting ammo, but like it matters because he just lost his caddy and he needs a pick me up, right? And just those little moments, it's just it adds to it. It settles you down for what's gonna happen later, right? Like, it's not all just doom and gloom. It's fun. It's because that's what they're doing. They're riding this wave, and wherever it goes, they gotta, like one of his rules, right? Like, enjoy the little things, right?
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
and you have to learn, it's a new normal, right? It's a new reality that they're in with no end in sight. The zombies are going to be zombieing, and this is just the new reality. So the fact that they're learning together how to find joy in that new reality and that new norm.
I did have a question about, kind of like how Ashley had one for the other ones. If you guys had to have a last standoff with like a zombie horde, where would you have it?
I bizarrely enough, I'm constantly, the thing that's been going on through the back of my mind since I was in freshman or sophomore year of college is this a good holdout against zombies? Every time I'm in a new building that requires ID access, anytime I'm like, oh shit, I can't get in. Oh, but if I can't get in, the zombies can't get in. And like every time I go through LAX, when I go to these conventions and whatnot, LAX has a zombie tunnel. I'm like, this is the worst place to be. Don't be at LAX, you will die. I think my overall decision is I would try and hold out in one of these like luxury gated communities that have like a grocery store at the first floor, and it's kind of like their own, like, just away from society kind of a thing. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. In a zombie apocalypse, I'm not making it to the end. I'm there up until I'm like, you know what? I've had a good run.
Bite me. Just give him one little finger.
I'm just saying, I'm keeping one in the chamber. That's
Oh my
all.
God, he's going out.
but I'm only a danger to myself. But I'm not even a danger. I'm, like I said, I'm living it out. I just know that I ain't reconstructing these power plants. I ain't helping rebuild technology. I'm an actor. What am I doing?
Wow.
Maybe like vaudeville or something.
You got to keep the people have to be happy. You got to keep them entertained and amused. Sing.
Yeah.
Someone's got to make the music.
But yeah, I'd choose some sort of like enforced apartment complex, and then I'm done after that. It's fine.
I think it would depend on the type of zombie. What's the infection? How does it spread? And what's the type of zombie? Because
Zombieland.
I'm just saying, because if it's like if it's like a spores infection, you got to go high. You got to go up to the mountains or something to get above that spread if you can. If you are talking about like a bite, like it's spread via bites, I'm going to go to a BDSM house. I'm going to leather myself up completely, like full gimp leather thing, and I'm going to find a space to hide out in because they cannot bite through leather. Unless they're the dead snow zombies, because they seem to be able to bite through anything. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking Zombieland zombies, I think for me, it would be to gear up as much as I can and find some like zip line park, take to the trees, because the zombies probably aren't climbing.
Damn, I love that.
And then if they do somehow make their way up, you can zip down to a different one.
Just have like a nonstop Benny Hill chase from tree to tree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you got to take it high because again,
you're on for something. I like
yeah,
that.
because unless it's dead snow, right, where that zombie straight up climbed the tree like a fucking military person, like that was scary. Like they at least waited for her to beat the shit out of the bird, and then the one proceeded to scramble up the tree really fast. Like if it's Zombieland zombies, you know what? I'll take to the trees. It's good.
What about you, John?
I don't know. I'd probably pull a Dawn of the Dead and grab a mall. Not that there's malls very much anymore, but something like that. Grocery store, somewhere with food, something.
Food and supplies. Walmart.
Yeah. There you go. Walmart. Go to a super Walmart or a Whole Foods or something. I don't know.
I always worry about those kind of places, the mass places, because so many others are going to be trying to get there, and you don't know who's coming in hiding a bite.
That's true.
Or a zombie baby, Dawn of the Dead.
The scariest thing, I think, if that baby survived somehow and nobody knew it, and it's just crawling around.
Oh, fuck that! That'd be creepy as shit.
Like,
it's like,
Yeah.
just like that.
No, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's when you boot a baby. Whoop, make it fly.
The thing that I never see people do in any of these zombie movies, and my family and I, we're really fucking weird. So like anytime we're out in a public space and we get sidetracked or bored, we're like, hey, if a zombie apocalypse hit right now, where do we go? We're weird, okay? But
I love it.
we do this quite often. And for me, one thing that I always default to that I notice they never do in any of the zombie movies that I can recall, and y'all can fact check me because y'all watch way more than me, I never see people take to the ceilings. How many houses and buildings and malls have the space above the fake ceiling? You know what I'm talking about? Like the little
like
push ceilings.
Like the attic, is that what you're talking about? Kind of.
They're like a crawl space between the floors.
Yeah.
Most buildings, offices, malls, doctors' offices, wherever you go, grocery stores, if you look up, they have the little squares that you can literally just push and climb up. And as long as you stay on specific sections of it, your weight would be supported, and you could find your way to vents. You could find your way to the roof. You could find your way into different sections or even a different part of the store that you can slip out of, right? And I never see that. Why does nobody take to the ceilings? Because in most of the zombie movies, zombies are kind of roaming around, even when they're fast on the ground. They're not looking up.
I feel like there's a level of athleticism required to get to that. And if I'm imagining what I'm imagining, where even if you like, unless you had like a ladder that you were able to like put all the way to, most of these rooms have like maybe a chair. Maybe you can like stack a couple desks, but I'm still gonna have to do like some sort of like muscle up. So
That's part of the fun of what we do, though, because for me, I'm always like, where can I take it high? And I'm looking around the rooms. Where could a child be able to make it up? Where could an adult? And it's like, if you look in most buildings, there's somewhere in that space that you still have to climb, but it's not like a pull up. It's like climbing a bookshelf or something where it's like, okay, it's going to take some effort, but it's doable. It's just figuring out, like, for me, it's a fun strategy thing, right? Like, it's weird. Again, I'm weird, but like, it's a fun strategy thing to assess a room and be like, how do I get high if I need to, and not Colorado high.
No, that reminds me of just like Tremors, right? That's what they were trying to do the whole movie, is get up high, get off the ground, you know, you're going to get eaten. Same kind of thing, right? And you see a lot of that, not just in Tremors, but like a lot of action movies, right? Where they do go into, you know, the air shafts and all that kind of stuff. But it's in action movies. Like you said,
Yeah.
You don't see it a ton in
The
these kind of
zombies.
movies.
Yeah. Like, nobody's going to their attics. No one is going into crawl spaces. Like, seriously, I was at the gym one day and I'm like, man, when I was watching Train to Busan. I was on the treadmill watching Train to Busan in the gym, and I am like, if this shit popped off right now, where would I go? And I'm like, oh, there's a whole ledge around this gym that I could go up high if I just it's weird, but like, if it's like, if I just climbed the counter, then climbed onto the shelf, and then went up, and then I'm up there. And how many people could fit up there? A lot. And so it's like,
No, I just like where her head's at. That's awesome.
This is why I don't do zombie films. They freak me out. It lives with me.
When I used to do parkour and stuff back in my
Parkour.
back in my fitter days, I would do the same thing. I mean, like I said, it started in college, which is when I was doing parkour. So the fact that, like, because one of the conceits is constantly like, oh man, what if you're being chased? Like, how do you where's the best place to like jump up to, hide, go here, do that? And again, for me, my analysis, even again to this very day, it's funny that you asked this question, because I was just like, man, my apartment complex, this is perfect for a zombie stronghold. It's like, just don't go to the garage. No one can get in here. And the thing that always gets in my the same way that you're thinking of like the crawl spaces and like the spaces in between, my head is just like, man, as long as I don't make noise, ain't no zombie coming through my door. If you're on the 3rd, 4th, 5th floor, like, they got to go do some cardio to get up first, and then they got to roam down the hall. And if they hear something,
but then how do you start the movie?
my life is not a movie. My life is not a movie, and I am not the main character of this show.
well, that's what was dumb about Shaun of the Dead, is because they were up in an apartment and they made a joke about Shaun trying to get up there because he couldn't climb up it, right? But they were safe up there. They were fine. Like, why didn't
It would have been fine.
See, I'm kind of like cooking a little bit.
I mean, they would have been fine until they're not.
True. And, you know, at that point, you know, if you want to get into semantics, and, well, it's like, okay, well, people are going to start rummaging through apartments and they're going to open doors, and that's the real threat after a certain point. But, you know, I'm not imagining people right now. I'm just the zombies.
It just reminds me of Land of the Dead, how they have that whole town that is completely barricaded and supposedly zombie proof, and the high rise. And they get in. I mean, they have to get out to get supplies, but it's really like the hubris that allows the zombies to eventually get in, but what is locked out can also be locked in. So if you're locking stuff out, you yourself are also locked in. So if it gets in, what happens?
Yeah, I was thinking like if it was like a virus or something and somebody got infected on your floor or in the apartment complex, you're still screwed.
Oh, also, that reminds me. This is why I also wanted to kick the shit out of Ed. He knew about the cellar the entire time.
True.
So while they're in the middle of the Winchester and like the windows are being broken in, and what are we gonna do? And they get cornered behind the bar. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's because they're like, what's that? Oh yeah, that's a cellar that leads to the basement, and it'll take you outside." Like, what the fuck, Ed?
Yeah,
He
Ed's a
knew
dick.
about it the entire time. They could have been in there safe.
He wasn't there to be helpful.
That's for sure.
Like, the entire time.
He was the zombie walking among them from the beginning.
Yeah.
Just wanted to punch him so fucking hard. Knew about it the entire time. He was the villain. Okay.
Not the
You
zombie.
can make that argument.
Yeah.
And I would approve.
Now, speaking of human villains in zombie movies, let's talk about Anna the Apocalypse and Principal Savage.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck that guy.
Yeah, literally.
I was saving it just for him.
What a wonderful name for a wonderful character.
Right?
He was so fucking brilliantly performed. That guy's singing voice and just his pure insanity. Like he was a madman during a zombie apocalypse, which really makes you think humans are still going to be fucking humans. They're going to be serial killers and they're going to be doing bad things regardless if they're zombies or not. But imagine when you unleash zombies, what those humans then do, which we see in this. Because it's just like that guy was literally out of his fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, amplified, right? That's what happens is your traits get amplified depending on what it is, right? And it's either fight or flight, or maybe you are chill
Or
and
feed.
or feed.
Yeah.
You know, and in his case, the power hungry oligarch who decides to become an even more powerier, hungrier. I that's funny because I made this like note. When he first talks and everything, at least coming out of my TV when I was watching it, he kind of had like a slightly like deeper voice going, and I was just like, this is menacing. This is I like his voice. It's not exactly what I would imagine coming out of his face 100%. I was just like, oh, I like this. And then when he gets to that singing part and he's like at the end and he's going into this like sort of just higher pitched madman, and it's going high, it's going low, and I'm like, oh, this you were meant to be in a musical zombie movie. This movie was made for you.
This character was made for you.
Yes.
Like spot fucking on. And like even with all of it, you just know his level of like completely like has lost his shit and he is not connected to the world when she goes to hug her dad and he's like, group hug. Goes to hug them. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You've got to play it off.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't just try to kill you. We're friends. It was a little gaff, a hee-hee of sorts.
I just wanted you to see that you could do it.
Oh man, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I didn't know if I would or wouldn't, but ultimately I did. It was super refreshing to see a High School Musical Disney adaptation of what would it be like if they were to produce a zombie movie. And like even the actors, they kind of they kind of resembled some of these people, you know, like Anne, she kind of resembles a mix of like Victoria Justice, kind of Anna Kendrick going on. You have the best friend, I forget his name right now.
John?
It wasn't
It was
Josh.
John.
John.
Yeah.
he kind of looked like a Lucas Grabeel kind
Yeah, a
of
little
face
bit.
in a way.
Yeah.
You know, you had all these people fitting in their roles, and it was a nice, refreshing take on the medium. It was I wasn't expecting to necessarily like it, but the songs were all fantastically written. You really didn't like that? Damn.
I will say Disney has made musical zombies.
Yes.
It's called Zombies. But what I liked about this one is that it is Disney zombies, but geared more towards adults, because you do have topics like the one night stand, right? Anna is more grown, and you do have things that younger audiences would not be able to, they wouldn't be able to get away with showing to younger audiences because of the content. So they're able to be more gory, they're able to be more violent, they're able to talk about topics like sex and have the LGBTQ aspect that at that time wouldn't be a thing, right? And so I did enjoy those aspects. For me personally, this would have been a phenomenal zombie movie. Perfection in so many ways, because you have the heartfelt underlying tones, you have the different relationships and characters built that you actually give a fuck about. So it's extra heartbreaking when they get turned. So for me, it's like this could have been an amazing zombie movie, in my opinion, if there weren't as many songs.
Sure.
So there were songs for me that made so much sense. Like I
Yeah.
loved her singing and being so oblivious, like we saw with Shaun of the Dead, right? You're
Yeah,
so
exactly.
oblivious to like this apocalypse is occurring around you. That zombie that ate the baby, Disney wouldn't be able to get away with that. And it's like, oh my God, that lady just threw her baby carriage and ran, and then the zombie came up and ate the baby. Oh, what the fuck? And you have this very devoted dead singing, zombie apocalypse is occurring. They're making their way towards each other. The lovely irony that they're dancing their way to each other into a cemetery and rocking out, having their rock solo, dance solo. That was fun. It was or duet. That was super fun. But some of the songs, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this was a musical, and it almost felt disruptive of the scenes. One song that I felt for me was the best song of the entire film. And I'm like, okay, I'm okay with this being a musical, and it works. The scene supports it so much and this elevates it. Like, this is a kick-ass scene, is Nick's song when
Right.
he shows up. Yeah, and he's singing about kicking ass while you guys are hiding, I'm kicking ass.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, see, that's how you deliver a song in a zombie movie.
Yes.
Which is funny because I didn't like his character to begin with. He's a fucking
No, he was a
bully.
total dickwad. But yeah.
And then that song in and of itself, I'm like, no, I get you, Nick. Like, I'm starting to get you. Okay, yeah. Yeah, fuck him up.
See, I agree with you. I have two different me's right here. So in a general sense, I do agree with you in that it would have been better to have less songs, or to have kind of a couple more focused songs.
Mhm.
I feel like the like, speaking of zombies just kind of being a medium, or like, you know, the catalyst for things going on, but they're kind of in the background in a way. It would have been nice to have a zombie song. It would have been kind of interesting and neat to have that. But the reason I ended up having the opinion where it's just like I did love it is I feel like if you're going to call yourself a musical, you have to lean in on that many songs. Because ultimately, this movie only was like an hour and a half. Also, like, it wasn't like a 2.5 hour Sweeney Todd type thing. And it's like we needed to have somebody go full throttle on making so many songs so that someday someone can come and make a couple less. It can be like a musical hybrid or whatnot. But the fact that they called themselves like a flat out musical, and this was coming around the time coming off of like Hamilton, I feel like they kind of needed to do what they did. But You don't have to like the songs.
I just feel the reason that, because I mean, I'm all day, every day, I'll admit I love High School Musical. I don't love every single song. But for me, I felt like with this movie, there were a few songs that broke away the focus of the scene. And to your point, if the song had maybe just been a little more focused, it felt somewhat left field. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're singing. Got it. Whereas sometimes it just felt natural to the scene that they would break into a song. So for me, it was not so much that they had songs. It's just some of the scenes I feel like it didn't flow as well as it should have into the song. And it was a little bit jolting from the scene. It took away the focus.
I get you.
1,000% agree with that.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
I just like how the song Hollywood Ending foreshadowed everything, basically.
Yeah.
Like, there is no such thing as a Hollywood ending, and everybody fucking practically dies in this one. So, minus the 3. But one person that you don't really want there, but he's there, fucking Nick. But
I ended up liking him.
I mean, that's, fair, but fuck Nick.
You know what it is for me, for his character specifically, is that it's complexity. It's the layers. It's the fact that on surface value, he is, on the surface level, he's this dick. But then you start to learn more about him, and like the fact he's got this military father who's constantly harping on him. And the last thing that he hears from his dad is not, I love you, I'm proud of you. It's like, it's literally, don't fail me for once. Like, holy shit. That's just wrecking. And the fact that he took his experience of, even with his dad being strict, and even with his dad not believing in him, and not, you get that undertone that his dad just doesn't support or encourage him. Even with that, he still didn't want to kill his dad. And when they make a comment about his military dad, he's like, you show him some respect. So he still has that grief from that. So much to the point that when Anna offers to end it for her dad, he's like, no, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah. So I really do like his character because he's complicated just like any of the rest of them. In fact, I think he's more so complicated than any of them when it comes to the layers and what he's internalizing and what he's experiencing. And he's someone I feel like a lot of people could relate to. This idea you're a forever disappointment to your parent, and the last thing your parent tells you is, yeah, you always disappointed me. What the fuck? Like, if in a zombie apocalypse your parent can't tell you that they love you, then that's fucked.
Yeah. I initially, he was kind of set up to be this sort of, again, because Disney is just the buzzword, this sort of the Disney bully that gets a couple songs and then whatever. But he did legitimately have like a transformation that I ended up empathizing with at the end. He had layers that made me say, oh, okay, fine, you're redeemable. All right.
He's an onion donkey.
Yeah, he has layers for sure.
It's got layers.
No, I'm glad that we all got to watch this because, like, me and John took me to go watch this for the first time at the Alamo Draft House, and it was a lot of fun. Like, I had never heard of it until you brought it up, so I'm really happy that this was part of this because it does have there's a lot in it. Like, it's not just a teenage zombie musical, right? There's a lot of layers, and it does. Like, I love just the little things that they add in there that kind of call back to movies like Shaun of the Dead, right? Like when they're walking, when she does the headphones, but also when they're walking through with the freaking blow up pool.
The old lady vampire or old lady zombie pees on her.
Yes,
like, zombies can pee?
Yeah.
I didn't know zombies could pee.
It's warm plastic.
See, that's great. Like the little details like that, it just makes it so much better. And also the thing that connects to Zombieland was they talked about all the famous people. They're like, who do you think you think Robert
Ryan
Downey
Gosling
Jr.'s
and all of that? Yeah.
Not TK. Never TK.
Oh, that was so good. Dead or alive, Ryan Gosling's cool.
Right.
So funny.
What was it? The Smash Kiss, Kill,
Mary
I don't
Kill,
know, Smash,
yeah.
Mary, Kill. And she's like,
Oh,
Mary
yeah.
Beyonce. And he's like, you kill Rihanna? And she's
Yeah.
like, wait, who said I picked Rihanna for that? I'm like, he just assumed.
Right.
That was hilarious. It was fun. It was definitely realistic to if things were to occur now. I mean, the what was it called? The selfies they were taking.
The hashtag selfie evac or
Evacuation
selfie.
selfies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
evac
based
selfie,
some
yeah.
shit
Yep.
people would do.
Yep. I just like how awkward Steph was through the whole thing too. She was amazing.
But also badass, right? Like,
Yeah.
just
Definitely.
surviving.
When she kills the cleaning lady with the toilet lid, boom, boom. Yep. Love it.
Well, I think that there was a lot of good kills in this, right?
gosh,
Like,
yeah.
not just that, the bowling balls. Oh, I've always wanted to see that.
Oh,
I've always
yeah.
wanted to see that. And
Right.
and the seesaw at the beginning with the freaking
Yes.
Frosty the
Smooth
Snowman.
ball.
Uh-huh.
I love the comedic thing of just like right before all that, the looking up, the snowman pulls his head up and then she like just whacks him.
Yes.
With her backpack.
Yeah.
There's one of my close friends, he has a rule that if somebody gets their head, like something thrown at their head or their head like just smacked like that, it's for whatever reason the funniest thing. And before, I never really necessarily agreed with it, but every single fucking movie that I have watched ever since he said that to me, I laugh extra hard now at just pop. And you all will now too,
Right?
Especially if somebody like the getting a shoe decked at their head.
No, I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it. As soon as like her first reaction is to smack him with her backpack.
I know.
I'm
She's like,
it was
are you okay?
so
I'm a
good.
first aider. Let me help you. And then he stands there and she's whack.
whack. Like my girl, that's how I would be. Like no hesitation, fuck it up.
I also do really love in that sequence where he's just like, there's zombies. He's like, no, and it's just like, what the? There's nothing normal about that.
It's like, how do you explain that? And the zombie head's just
Like,
there,
He's all,
trying to get him.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I love when movies like call out the thing like that, because there's nothing more infuriating when someone's like in denial about like the existence of the supernatural or
Yes,
magic or
yes.
whatever. And it's just like, how do you explain it then? Like, are we using our eyes here? Come on.
I couldn't stop laughing every time it would cut to the zombie head with the snowman,
Yes.
and he's just gnawing at the air.
I've
It was
seen this
so good.
movie literally 195 times, and I still laugh every single time with this freaking movie. So
It's so good.
There are
It's so
super endearing moments too, though, because even when
Yes.
Steph gets mad at him over trying to grab his phone, when Chris goes back to get it, and she's like, "It's just a piece of glass," and he's like, "But it's got my Gran and Lisa's
Exactly.
pictures in it." It's like,
all my memories is like, what the fuck?
oh, my heart, yeah.
Mhm.
Like he's not yes, he's a filmmaker, but like he's more connected to that phone because of the memories it possesses. Like we talked about, right? That
Yeah.
reminder of what life was.
Mhm. And like when his grand dies, like
Oh.
you really hope that she didn't get bit, and you,
Yeah.
luckily enough, it was just like a heart attack.
It was
and she
her
passed
heart.
away. Yeah,
It's still
so-
sad.
Still very sad, but like she didn't go the wrong way.
Can we talk about a ride or die girlfriend though, who like stays connected to your
Lisa,
gran and trying to
yes.
protect her the entire time, is in the
Mhm.
closet with her watching over her dead body?
Yes.
Like, those
Mhm.
two.
Oh, I
Unsung
know.
hero love story there.
Absolutely.
Not just the love story, but she was just an awesome character. Like her song, like
She was great too.
the smutty
Aw.
song with Santa,
no.
like that was amazing. Like she's like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Like I'm just gonna do
Right.
it. I don't care.
The
And
guys are just in there like Chippendale Santa
Yes.
outfits.
I almost wore that. That was gonna be
That's
my plan
funny.
B.
That
Oh
would've
my
been cool.
god.
The I
Or the
think it's-
pink.
Yeah, the writer or the director was actually in the audience.
Oh,
during
really?
That scene as well. He was next to the guy that was retiring. That was all clapping. He was like next to that.
Oh,
guy.
the happy guy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was right next to that guy.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah.
And the penguin song too. Those two guys.
Yes,
That was naughty.
I made that my ringtone for a long time.
Oh, that's good.
There are so many themes in here when it comes to like relationships, and I love each one was heartwarming. And John, I'm so glad I finally watched this one.
I know it only took 6 seasons, but hey, I got you.
I got
Finally.
it.
Finally, I literally, as soon as we were talking about doing podcast, I mentioned this so many times, but like we finally got to it.
It finally got me there. It's the zombies. I had to get over the zombie
Mhm.
aspect.
And you have to get to John, the other John, too.
Oh.
Like
That was
Ah.
bullshit too. That made me cry. Who'd have thought this zombie
Yeah.
movie would make you freaking cry? Numerous
Yeah.
times.
Well, I mean, come on. Zombie movies make me cry, and I've never refuted that because zombie movies in the horror genre for me are the ones that carry the most heartbreaking stories. So
Mhm.
whether it's Train to Busan, whether it's Anna the Apocalypse, like every single zombie movie that has the human element, like they're actually trying to focus on the human element, it's gonna wreck you because all of them carry elements of loss and love and grief. And
Mm.
if they write characters that you give a fuck about, like, yeah, you're gonna cry because you know they're gonna kill the characters.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, zombie movies wreck me. This one was sad. John's scene was sad.
Oh, so sad. Sadly, you
Yeah.
kind of knew it was coming, but it sucked.
I was less sad about watching his death. Like, it sucked that he was bit. I was
Mhm.
more feeling the heart wrench at the end when he's sitting
Yes.
there zombified and he hits his Christmas tree and it starts lighting up. And I'm like, God damn it, did you have to show me that?
Exactly.
because he's all by himself
Gotta
too.
pull the heartstrings. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're my best friend. No, John.
Mm.
You're my
Best
friend.
friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
The writer of the movie actually died in the middle of making it, and everybody that he was friends with that was doing the movie with him finished it for him.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
that's so
Yeah.
sad. Why you gotta tell me this
Made this
shit,
better.
John?
Yeah, the hell?
Just random things that I know because this was one of my obsessions, obviously. But like, yeah, and this was based on his short film Zombie Musical, ironically enough. But that's
Inspired
another
by
good
High
one.
School Musical.
Yeah. They actually showed part of that at Alamo when they first released it back in 2017 or 18, whatever it was. But yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff.
So 2 questions for all of you. What's your favorite song in the movie? Who's your favorite character? You don't have to know the
And-
song name. You can reference what part of it if you don't know the name.
So for me, it's the Nick song.
Soldier at War.
Soldier at War.
legitimately,
Yep,
that-
top
that-
of my
that got me,
class.
That made me be like, oh shit, we got a bop in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a
that-
bop.
That was a good one. I like the camera angle with it too. Like when they first walk away and like John's flipping him off, how they like go wide. I
Yeah.
love that. It's such a nice shot.
Well, I love it because as John's flipping him off, Chris is bringing the camera up at the same
He's
time.
all-
So it's just both in motion.
Yes.
And then favorite character, I got to give it to Savage just because it was a fun performance.
Yeah. BJ.
I mean, if I can't pick Soldier at War,
I mean, you
probably
can.
You can.
Well,
Whatever the heck you want, bro.
I'll
Look,
pick.
here
No,
are
man, I'll
my-
pick the Penguin. I'll pick the Penguin song,
The fish wrap.
and that's not
I-
even like a musical song. Like it's
it's just
a musical within the musical, right? It's like a musical number within it.
I love how they showed the penguins dead too when they were all zombified.
Okay, favorite character?
I like Steph. I really like Steph. I don't
Okay.
know. She's just so kind of just had a lot going on, right? There was a lot going on. You know, couldn't be with the person. I don't remember who was their love interest in that. Her girlfriend.
She just called
They
her
never
'cause she
know
was-
her girlfriend, right?
no.
And just it was sad because she was like, oh, you can, wanting to be with her, not being able to be with her, but then, having to deal with Savage and just surviving. But yeah, Steph was pretty cool.
Can we just take a quick moment to acknowledge she should have been given more song parts because her
Yes.
voice was stellar. Some of those notes that she hit, I think it was Doreen, it really showcases during that one song in the bowling
Human
alley.
voice.
Yeah.
Human voice song. Yeah.
Yeah, her notes, I was just like, where the fuck did that come from?
She actually choreographed a bunch of the stuff too, the dances.
Her song,
Oh.
like her singing voice is stellar. I'm surprised they didn't give her more.
They should have,
Right.
for sure.
What about you, Ashley?
I'm going to definitely go with Soldier at War. And with a close second, the Savage song. What is it? Is it What a Time to Be Alive?
But
No.
wasn't
What
it
is
like
No, what is it?
wasn't it like Queen though? Wasn't it like
it was like nothing's
version
gonna
of it?
stop me now. That's
Nothing's
it.
going to stop me
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say his maniacal song is like a close second favorite for me. He just delivered that so uncomfortably well that was a close second. Now, in terms of favorite character, I am gonna roll with Nick. I love a good complex character. So
Dude, I don't know. There's so many good ones with this one. I
he's like the
literally
whole
bought,
fucking movie.
pretty much. I literally bought the soundtrack on iTunes after walking out of the theater. And it was just in my car all the time for like a year.
I love that.
Yeah, it was so crazy. But I don't know. I mean, all the characters are great. I do love Steph with her awkwardness and her just kind of trying to fit in, but not at the same time. I gotta go with John just because, I mean, my name, and I've been in his situation before, so I totally understand. So I get that. But song wise, I don't know. Probably the one when she's walking to the school, just oblivious to everything. It was my ringtone or my alarm for a long time. I'm like, it makes sense.
It's a fun
Start the day
song.
off with a good one. It is a good one.
So I've got a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you consider this a Christmas movie?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you have her dad telling her, Merry Christmas, Anna. Sorry, I'm so used to Elsa and Anna. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, Anna. It's like, that's a Christmas movie, man. As
Yeah.
long as Christmas is referenced in a movie, I count it. Same with like, I know people go against Die Hard, but I'm like, they actually
Die
reference
Hard
Christmas.
is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I will die on
Okay.
that hill.
Okay.
Here's why I think it's a Christmas movie is not just him saying Merry Christmas, Anna, but also you have the Christmas show where a
Mhm.
lot of this takes place and the holiday, like the presents that Steph is collecting for the homeless shelter. Like this thing wouldn't be the movie. If you took Christmas out of the movie, would the movie still stand on its own? And that's kind of how I look at movies. If you take Christmas away, is it a standalone movie? Like, did Christmas really do anything to help the story? For me, this is all things Christmas. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I would call it a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I mean the iconic candy cane that she whacking zombies with. She literally hit the camera during one of the takes as well with that big swing. Yeah.
The Santa zombie at the end.
Yes. The last jump scare that they got going. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, BJ and Nazeeh's Christmas movie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's I mean there's all of the things you guys said, and it just adds to it. It really does. It just feels like it adds to the the parody or the what do you call it? Yeah, just basically you get the blood and guts and stuff, but then you get festive Christmas time, right? It just
It's the necessary juxtaposition of
Yes.
happy holidays and oh fuck.
in this one, I consider it a Christmas movie, but I do think you could replace half the like Christmas related stuff and still achieve a similar effect. I'm not going to say the same effect, but I think you can get pretty close. Removing like all the Christmas theme things, making it just putting on a musical. You still have the power hungry, overbearing, savage, and then all the themes regarding going to college, going away. It's like I think there are, and then you replacing the candy cane with some other prop that you find related to the musical instead. I think you can achieve a similar movie taking out the Christmas theme, I will say.
I think it wouldn't be as heartbreaking.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's why I was like, you can get similar.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same.
Right.
I mean, any Christmas movie, probably that could be the case unless your villain is Krampus or like an evil
Yeah.
Santa. And even then, you could replace it with a demon. Like, yes, to
Sure.
an extent, but I think that the movie would be so stripped away from the original intent that
Mhm.
it would just not be the same. I think having something terrible happen during the holidays when relationships and futures are already kind of, people, they say you're stressed the most at the holidays when I add zombies. Like, it's definitely, for me, it served its purpose in the scene in the Christmas tree forest.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
just jumped out of the Christmas trees. It's like, oh God,
Yeah, don't go in
especially,
not a good idea.
One of my favorite things is when the kids all finally make it to the school and Savage is like eating his dinner.
It's Christmas
And they're-
dinner.
And they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Eating Christmas dinner."
My Christmas dinner.
Like that was one of my favorite like points. It was just so like
For me, I was like, are you not concerned that you just walked in the front door? Like, there was they didn't have to break it open. They just
Yeah, they just
strolled
walked
in. And I'm
right
like,
in.
y'all aren't pausing to wonder why is this door unlocked? And the principal's just sitting there eating his Christmas dinner. Like, something's amiss.
just a little bit.
So, yeah. All right, guys. Do we have any final thoughts or feelings about the 4 films that we watched for the fun zombie section of Nazombie Land?
I personally love the comedic elements from or the comedic spins rather on zombies. I think it adds a lot of levity that makes regular zombie films just kind of unwatchable or unbearable to a lot of the masses or just really difficult to get through. And these movies help show that you don't have to go full on camp in order to still have the dramatic elements of zombie films in there. It makes it more palatable, and that's what I really appreciate about these.
I think for me, it's the creativity of the kills and the fun that they make it. Like it's not just, yeah, like you said, it's not just dramatic. Like, oh, you got bit, now you're gonna turn, and now we're all sad. It's no, it's just it's very. They did a really good job being smart with it by studying past zombie movies. Right? They're like, what can we do? How can we spin it just to make it a little bit um, more enjoyable and just creative and just fun for everybody else who knows what zombies are already. Like, how can we just make it a little bit juicier in a positive way instead of like a dramatic, like, oh my God, pull out my heart, right?
Which they still pulled out my heart.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. I mean, I agree. The kills were great in each and every one of these. Zombie kill of the week in Zombieland. So let's go. Like BJ mentioned earlier with Anna and the Apocalypse, the bowling ball. How creative is that? I mean, come on now. All of the stuff in Dead Snow was great too. But I like how everybody got creative with different kills, and it was cool to see all of that.
I think for me, the zombie subgenre is a great way to tell stories that speak to so much. It captures such a wide array of commentary that I feel like sometimes the other subgenres within horror aren't able to encompass as much. It's got a bigger playground, in my opinion, because there is no one type of zombie. There's no one way to be a zombie. There's no one way that they kill. And so you can really have fun with it, right? And I do love that in this subgenre, you can also include things like music and comedy. And you could do that with other ones, I'm sure, as much as well. But for zombies, especially with me, when I'm terrified of this genre, it does make it palatable. Kind of like to what you guys are saying, to be able to absorb those stories that people are trying to tell, because it lessens the intensity and it does make it watchable for some of us who is too much sometimes. It's too intense. And I don't know. I really enjoy the comedic zombie movies. I enjoy regular zombie movies too, non-comedy. They're just a little harder for me to sleep after. These I'm fine. I sleep like a baby, just not a baby hopefully being eaten by a zombie. um, but each one can be what it is. And that's what I loved about each and every one of these movies, is that they were never the same story. They don't have to reinvent the wheel. They can add elements of other things that work really well, like High School Musical meets zombies, or The Leprechaun meets zombies, or you name it. But they're still creating characters and icons within this genre and telling stories, even if it's like, oh, the nice guy, finishes last and those things. They're able to tell it in a way where you still care. It doesn't feel like it's recycled or a cliche. It's in a world that you care about. And that's, for me, I encourage people. If zombies freak you out, or straight up horror movies freak you out, give the comedies zombies a go. The musical zombies.
Give them a go, because you can tell the filmmakers when you watch these movies, they're having a blast making these movies. Just with all of the different things that you see, you're like, oh my God, how fun would that have been to film? Like, to figure it out, right? It's like, how do we crush somebody's head with some bowling balls? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna take off somebody's head with a seesaw? like little things like that.
And that's what I want to remind people of, as all of us are in some aspect a filmmaker in this virtual podcast room. Campy doesn't equate poor quality. Each one of these movies had stellar cinematography, stellar practical effects, stellar directing, like you name it, I could go on. These are high quality films that are just having fun. Now, Nazeeh, where can people find more about you?
Well, on Instagram and Twitter, I am at Nazeeh Tarsha. You can find all my latest things. Most latest news being I was announced as one of the leads on Cyberpunk Edgerunners Season 2.
Yeah, you were.
So that's pretty exciting. And then also coincidentally at the almost near damn same time, I got announced as the protagonist in Persona 4 Revival. So any gamers out there, any anime watchers out there, keep an eye out for those two properties when they come out.
Woo-woo! Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you. And then, because I've always got to do this, if you happen to be listening / watching this because you're a fan of mine, please be sure to check out 3Haunted Podcast. They have so many episodes spanning 6 seasons, so much content. They put so much passion, heart, joy into this. Please give them a listen. If you like this, there is a lot more content to be consumed.
Thank you.
So sweet. Thank you.
You are so amazing, Nazeeh.
I mean, y'all deserve it. I mean, shit, y'all bust your asses. It's the least that I can do.
We are truly appreciative of you. You've jumped on this with us at the end of last season, going in throughout this season, watching so many horror movies, going on a whim with whatever titles we throw at you. You've been game for it, a good sport. And from the bottom of my heart, truly, I appreciate you so much being willing to be on this ride with us and watch these crazy movies we throw at you, because sometimes I know you don't love them, but you're still down to watch them. So thank you so much for putting your faith in us to carry you through this horror journey, but also having the conversations and setting aside the time to do this with us.
No, and thank you for also, it's a two-way street. At the end of the day, you all had to / have to like me enough to have me willing, or to be willing to bring me back for more of these conversations. And the thing that I really love about this, that I think is just missing from a lot of my day-to-day, and just a lot of people's day-to-days in general, is just having discussions, watching a thing, talking, being with each other. We're like so wrapped up in our worlds and our jobs and in the chaos of the world, and this is a nice reprieve from that, being able to just, regardless of whether or not you enjoyed a movie, just being able to, for just a few hours, the world can't bother you. This is the task at hand, and we're going to be enjoying this with the company of friends. And that's what this is all about for me. This is why I do enjoy doing this, because it's something that I like a lot. I like talking to friends.
Well, Zombieland rule number 29 is the buddy system. So I'm glad you're part of our system, buddy.
Absolutely. I couldn't think of a better way to in season 6. So I appreciate you. Seriously.
Thank you all so much. Seriously.
You're gonna make me cry. All right, guys, do we have any final thoughts before we wrap this epic episode up of zombies? Yes, you finally got me to do the zombie genre.
Ha ha ha.
I just want to say, I don't think Nazeeh is a butter knife baby anymore.
No.
I think he's he graduated.
I'm a real boy.
Oh, well, take it down a notch. You're like a pocket knife baby now.
Oh man.
We got more for you. I hope you're ready.
Season 7, baby. Bring it on.
We're going to go on steroids with you. You just wait.
I'm here for it.
All right. Bija Segura, do you want to bring us home?
Absolutely. And yeah, everybody, thank you for tuning in. This was such a fun season. It was we had some ups, we had some downs, but we've had some amazing conversations, and we couldn't do it without the listeners, without Nazeeh, people, John, Ashley, like you guys put it all together. You make it so enjoyable, and I'm just proud to be part of it, and I just can't wait for more. And I hope you guys come and join us on that ride. So thank you for tuning into this finale episode of 3Haunted Podcast for season 6. I am one of your hosts. I am BJ Segura.
I am Ashley Lunar Goddess.
I'm John Thomas.
If you have any questions, comments, or episode suggestions, please feel free to email us at 3hauntedpodcast@gmail.com. If you haven't done so already, please like, follow, and subscribe to all our social media. You don't want to miss our amazing guests like Nazeeh here, Nazombie.
This is Nazombie Land.
Yeah, it is. Don't forget to check out 300podcast.com, where you will find all of our past and current season episodes, as well as guest information and all kinds of awesome merch.
Until season 7.